are starting out today's video in the woods because this is a slightly different type of video to what I normally do, and I've never stayed in something like this before, but I have a hammock. And it's the first time I've stayed in a hammock. I got it just over a couple of weeks ago, and I've taken it into these woods already to set it up just to see what it's like, how comfy it is, etc. But I haven't actually stayed in it for the night. We're going to do a video with an honest review of me setting up the hammock, sleeping in the hammock, and giving you feedback on what I think. We've got plenty of wood here. Maybe even these two could be a great one. Good width there. Tarp, which I am going to put up. I've got an underquilt for the hammock. I have my hammock itself. I have my chair. I have my table. I have my electronics. I have my ground cover for when I get in and out of the hammock. A little bit of food. I have ate already, so I'm okay on that front. Compared to all my other recent videos, I've been using the winter 4-season sleeping bag when it's been way too hot in the summer. So I've bought a half-season or 2-season sleeping bag, which has a comfort rating of +6 degrees, a limit of +1 degrees, and a risk warning of -14 degrees Celsius. This is the hammock itself. Now, the bag it comes in is actually a pocket that dangles from the side of the hammock. You pull out these two straps. This is a UV protection. It's not water protection, but it sits on top of the hammock. I will probably add that on at some point to show you what that looks like. Wrap this around one tree. Pull that taut. And we just simply buckle that straight onto here. Move that around this tree. This one's a bit bigger. This one's slack. Have the outside pocket on the hammock there. Just turn, set it, and just open that out. Close your bug net. So, oh man, that's so comfortable. So that's that, guys. What I needed to do, I've just been messing about with it a bit. I've just made sure that these straps are taut by pulling it round and giving more tension on the hammock so that it's a bit more level. This UV protection, I will show you just whilst we've got the bare hammock like this. On here, it's like a little toggle. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is straps here on with a pulley so that you can keep it taut. And what you do is you have to detach the hammock from the clip, put the hammock through, and then attach the clip back on. That will just sit on top. Bring it over to this side, undo the clip, hammock through, reattach the clip. Pull that over the top, push this one on. So you can see we just push that through and turn it sideways. Very, very simple. On the other side. And that's what it looks like with the UV protection on. So if you go down level with it, you can see that you do have gaps for the sides. It's not fully waterproof. I don't even think this is waterproof material, but it does stop the sunlight from hitting you when you are lying down and chilling in there. The next thing that we're going to be setting up, guys, is the underquilt. So the underquilt is for winter, but I'm going to be setting it up to show you and to try it out for the night, just because last time I set it up and I put my hand down the side, I could feel how much heat it was retaining. So I can imagine how much heat I'm going to lose through the night. Not that it's going to be cold through the night, but when you're not moving around and your blood's circulating, I'm just going to be colder in the morning due to limited blood flow and moving around. So it comes in this little compression sack. Remove the compression and pull it out. You know, I read a review on somebody who bought the exact same one and the review showed a picture of it completely torn. Now you can see that this has only got a small amount of down filling in it, and it's not designed to take weight. He said it split straight away, it couldn't take my weight. The idiot thought that you were supposed to use this as a hammock. Some people. Now it comes in a banana like shape. It works the same way with the UV protection. You put these two bungees and this clip around the end, clip it together, and then attach the buckle onto the other buckle. Undo this buckle, put the strap through the bungees, reattach that back onto there, and then you do the exact same on the other side, but open it out underneath the whole thing, and then do the same on the other side. Undo the clip, pull the hammock through, reattach the clip back on, clip this onto the other clip. Now you need to make sure that from the distance between the bottom of your hammock and the bottom of the underquilt is a lot, because you don't want any of your weight going on this. Now obviously I'm going to have to move it out the way when I get in, but when I'm getting in I don't want to be putting all of my weight onto the underquilt because it will break and damage. And just pull that right out of your way and fold it completely over if you want, but make sure you just go straight onto the hammock. I like to get one leg side on first. But get onto the hammock, open up the back, and then I just fold like back, kind of like that. Very easy, not worried about it spinning or flipping over. Very, very comfy. Pull this, pull that in, and do the same with the other side. And I can already feel that heating up my back, and you would think, or at least I would, that when you initially get into a hammock, the swinging is going to make you motion sick. It's actually really, really calming and comforting that you are like cradled and swaddled and you're just being rocked to sleep. All I need now is a lullaby. Even if I sit back, I'm only going into a seated position, and you can swing, you can actually use this as a seat. The next thing that we need is the tarp. The issue that I have here is my tarp is greater than the distance between these two trees, but we're going to make it work. Sorry, I was getting carried away with it on the floor because the paracord was all tangled up. But what I've done is I've just set up the ridge line, so there's 2 points in the middle of each side, and then we have 4 corners, and all I need to do now is stake out each corner. Last time I didn't use my tarp, so I've taken the 4 pegs out and I'm using them for the ground sheet. So instead I'm going to use a natural ground anchor, and that is the last one done. Now it does look a bit weird there because it's wrapped around the tree, but I knew that that wasn't going to fit the distance between the trees. So this one is coming around, but it's all taut underneath with a nice ridge line in the center, drops off at the back, and it's slightly opened out at the front, just so that when I'm getting in and out I've still got the headroom and it's easy enough for me. And the next thing we've got is our ground cover. Just lays out here, and I peg it down in all 4 corners just so that I don't have to stand on all this when I'm getting in and out. Remove the 4 pegs. The ground coverage, it's just like a 1.5 by 2.5 or 2 by 3, something like that. Can't remember the exact specs of it, but I'll be getting in and out here, so I want more over this way, like so. 1 peg in each corner. Peg that down, peg that down, push that in all the way, and top, push it in. Now this, when I come to get in, just take my shoes off. You just leave them underneath your hammock or put them in that pocket as I said before. See how it would fit. Maybe they overhang a little bit. You could hang your bag up, put them in your bag or whatever. Table, chair is next. This is such a luxury comfort that I've got. Now, so easy. All of these like just pop into place if you let them, and then you just need to give it a little touch. Make sure that they are all fully in their holes. The mesh part goes on your back. There's 4 holes that toggle onto each pole. Comes on first. I find they're a lot easier to get on. There we go. And the last one you go. You can also attach this bag with these two loopholes to sit under here on each pole or on the back on each pole. The top, there's the legs. Open it up into an X-frame. There's two parts here that sit into them gaps, there into there. And then when you put this on, you sit at each corner and it holds it all into place. So there's them two ones. Then of course our sleeping bag. I don't need to teach anyone how to suck eggs here, but you just open the sleeping bag and lay it inside your hammock. This bag, you can see just through the bug net that we have a sleeping bag in the hammock, which is in the underquilt. Floor coverage so that we can take our shoes off. We've got our seat, we've got our table, we've got our tarp. It's going to be an absolutely perfect night. Can't wait to try this. Now that all this is set up and I am ready for an evening under these trees with these birds, which I cannot wait for them to wake me up in the morning. I hear them all singing. It's time to sit down. I'm going to make a hot cup of tea soon. But I just want to talk about the hammock, because one thing that really stopped me getting one, and why it's taken me so long to get a hammock in my age now, was I'm a side sleeper and a hammock bows at the bottom. I thought that if you sleep in a hammock, you're going to have to sleep on your back, which was wrong. Everything that I've read online, all the reviews, the videos, and people that I know who have them said that you can side sleep in it and there's a knack to it. So if you sleep on a diagonal in the hammock, it actually goes pretty level. I've set it up and I've tried it a few different ways and I've found what I'm comfortable with. Now, if you don't have the best night's sleep of your life, which I don't know if I'm going to have or not, you try different things before you give up. Some say elevation in your head area will give you a better night's sleep. Others prefer elevation in your feet area to have a better sleep. You can try adding in a air mattress to level it out a little bit, but for the first night that I'm ever going to try it, I'm not going to use any sort of airbed. I'm just going to have the hammock on its own with my sleeping bag and a pillow. That's it. And the underquilt, obviously, but that's just for a bit more warmth. Another thing that stops a lot of people from getting a hammock is they assume that you get into a hammock and you're just going to swivel around and fall out like all these cartoons, and it's not like that at all. As soon as you put your weight in the bowed part of the hammock, you're just grounded and you'll rock back and forth, yeah, but you can pull the back end up. So if you're sitting on the hammock sideways, like I've shown you previously in this video, you pull the back end up, you could just have it like this as a chair. Getting in it is actually a lot easier than it seems, or it may look from what you've seen other people doing. You just pull it underneath you, sit in it, and then turn and get your legs in. Obviously take off your shoes just before that. It really grinds my gears as well when you go into nature and there's stuff like this just left around from kids and other people that don't have any fucking respect. So I'll be taking that back with me. Absolutely disgusting. There's no need for it. Appreciate shit like this. You know what I mean? It's not your planet, it's our planet, and we're on borrowed time. We're only renting this from the next generation, and they should have the same philosophy. Now that that's all collected, that will be getting taken back with me. It's time to make a herbal and lemon tea. But fill that up. Nice. Oh. There we have the herbal lemon tea out here in this beautiful setting. Can't get enough of it. Oh, that's good. Cheers. Now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to show you how I get into bed in a hammock before it's too dark and you won't be able to see much. I wouldn't actually know how to do this if I didn't carry out my own due diligence and do my research and watch videos on how to do this first. Proper put that out the way. Now, you would store everything in this pocket that you need before you get in and sort yourself out. This would be the absolute last steps. You'd elevate your shoes, blah, 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 sort that out whilst you're here. Get into the clothes that you're going to be sleeping in. You get into the sleeping bag, standing up, like so. Right, you open out the hammock and sit in as you normally would, and then get in Pull that back over. Oh my god, that is so comfy. Everything's just perfect, perfect, perfect. This is how you get out, and I'm assuming it's going to be 1,000 times easier. So let me just pop the pillows up there, legs out, and then just stand up. Just chilling out here, getting the last bit of the light. Soon I'm going to be jumping in there just to chill, listen to the sounds of this, read a bit, and then start winding down for night time and stay up whilst I can, and then get an early night's sleep as soon as that's starting to dip. And then I will be up as soon as the birds start chirping, and I cannot wait for that to wake me up out here. Oh, that's it. Give myself a little rock here. Just chilling out for a bit, watching the last of the daylight go away, and just give myself little rocks every now and again so that I can feel like I'm in a cradle. That rocking sensation is so nice. It does stop. You come to a dead stop eventually. It's not even a bad feeling when it is moving like this. I really enjoy it. A lot of people get motion sickness, but not me. I fall asleep like that. It's the autism. Right, I am going to jump out, jump into my sleeping bag, and then jump back in. But I'm not going to get that on camera. So I will let you guys know how my sleep was in this tomorrow. Good night. Oh, well, good morning, guys. I can see why they say tie on a knot to the strap. I'm going to tie on a knot around there, because when the water runs down, it's not bad that end, but if you look this end, you can see where it's been working its way down to about here and then stop. Luckily, where my pillow is, the water hasn't come any further than that. Not a bad sleep in here, can't lie. The sounds of them birds waking me up is just unreal. Never get bored of that. Okay, so note to self, next time you put the ground cover down, put it more underneath, because the tarp has been dripping on it, and then it's been just working its way down slowly, so you can see that it's dry at the back end, but not at the top end. Nice, so that's dry. All of this is dry, all of this is dry. It's just cold and damp, like here. This has actually got wet right down till here. So, yeah, all that's really damp. I need to tie on string here and let it dangle so that when the water hits it, it will hit the knot and then run down the string and then drop down rather than continuing. This has just been dripping down. Now, as a side sleeper, what do I think of sleeping in a hammock? I think it's absolutely great. Adjusting yourself in there isn't the easiest compared to just rolling over on flat ground, because you have to like keep the outsides taut and until you're in a position, and then you can let go and put your hands back in your sleeping bag, etc. Using that half-season sleeping bag and this underquilt, I was absolutely perfect. I could have my arms out on top of the sleeping bag and just lie there on top of my pillow, or I could be tucked in, and I was fine either way. I wasn't too hot. It doesn't rock and move loads when you're adjusting yourself and moving around. By the time you've got comfortable and you settle, there's only a very light swing, so it's nice. I've got no hip problems. I haven't been bowing either way of my hips. From the videos and stuff that I've seen, I did try and target going on an angle rather than straight, because I know that it can make the hammock more taut. And then when I did wake up and it was bright and there was rain falling down, it sounded absolutely amazing. In fact, there was one time that I woke up before that where it was raining, but there was no light, so I was just listening to the sounds of it, falling back to sleep. Amazing white noise. Will it need some taking to get adjusted to it? Yes. Am I going to do it again? Yeah. I need to try different elevations of my head end and my feet end, like I said yesterday, and see what worked for me. Last night I had it as pretty flat as I could. If anything, I was ever so slightly higher at my head end. time to get all of this stuff packed away. I've been chilling in that hammock for so long today. It is 3:15 now, but I'm going to take everything down and start packing it up and then get this all cleaned up. And that is me all done and cleared away. I've checked that I've left nothing behind. Just left my chair out because I'm going to be chilling here for a bit now, just taking in the last bits of it, listening to the sounds of that, chilling out a little bit more, and then I'll get this packed away and head on home. I just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you could please support the channel by subscribing and engaging with my videos, I would really appreciate it. It's free and it helps out so much. Thank you. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. There will be more adventures awaiting. Peace. Goodbye, Woods.